14 blocks, bounded by Greenlawn on the east, Puritan on the south, Kentucky on the west, and Marygrove College on the north. Patrick Irvin has a sentimental connection to the area. His mother graduated from Marygrove College, and he and his wife were wed in the chapel.
Now, it had been a while since I'd been in the neighborhood, and the first time that I drove through the neighborhood just broke my heart, frankly. The abandoned houses, one after another, it was rough.
Patrick is an executive with Talmer Bank, which became deeply involved in the Marygrove neighborhood after Mike Duggan became mayor.
When he won, we went to him and asked, what can we do to be helpful? And he said, we should adopt a neighborhood. And he pointed us to Marygrove. So he said, go to this neighborhood and help out any way you can. So we pledged $1 million of our own money to take to Marygrove and to try to help get those houses occupied with people that are going to live in the neighborhoods and move their families there.
To stabilize the neighborhood, Talmer partnered with the Detroit Land Bank and Southwest Solutions, supported by NeighborWorks, in an ambitious revitalization effort.
I believe there was 72 abandoned homes in the neighborhood. We're now, I think, in the 50s. There's still a lot there. So we'd like to get every one of those occupied.
In phase one of the effort, homebuyers purchasing through the Land Bank auction could obtain a $25,000 grant from Talmer, administered by Southwest Solutions, to rehab the home. Phase one had its challenges.
It takes a lot to rehab a 100-year-old home that has been abandoned for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, exposed to the weather in many cases, unknowns behind every wall you tear into. So to leave that in the hands of perhaps a first-time homeowner or anybody, even me who is an experienced homeowner, it is a huge challenge.
So what we all collectively decided we would do moving on to phase two is that Southwest Housing Solutions would acquire the property. We would renovate the property with the assistance of a general contractor, and we would match a home buyer and bring a home buyer and the subsidy to purchase an end product, a finished product.
The market for phase two homes is brisk. Although phase one had problems, there are certainly success stories. Darren McDonald decided to buy and rehab a home after a talk with his father.
I was griping about how the city was going down, and he said, yeah, what are you doing about it? And I'm like, nothing. And so my father's like, well, you don't have a right to complain about anything if you're not gonna be willing to do anything about it. The neighbors, I think they told me this house sat for like 7 to 8 years. Once I bought the house and got it together and seen this neighborhood and how people really are on this block, I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did it. I'm not complaining anymore. In 2 years, I done seen 3 empty houses just on this block get put together and somebody move in them. Clearly, people is not moving out. They are moving in, so I see the change.
The house that Christian Turner bought needed so much work that her friends were worried it was a money pit, but Christian was confident that she could restore the home and stay on budget.
One woman's trash is another woman's treasure, and this is something that no one wanted, people abandoned, and it's very historical. It had a lot of architectural features that I really loved and admired about the house, and I honestly, once I came in the house, I was able to see what it used to be and the potential that it had.
Inspired by her success renovating her Marygrove home, Christian recently purchased a vacant house in another neighborhood to rehab and rent out.
Now I know I could take more risks like this and see more good and actually be a part of revitalizing Detroit, It just takes people with visions to come here and be able to have faith in the neighborhoods and actually be a part of the change. So if we want to see change, we have to be a part of that change. We have to come here and be willing to, live that change. So I love the neighborhood, and it gets better every day.
It was described as a neighborhood at a tipping point 2 years ago when we got involved. I would not describe it as that anymore. I would say it's a neighborhood that has momentum away from that tipping point. So I think we're turning the corner. It does not happen instantaneously. There are setbacks, but I think the momentum is well on the way.